Hey guys, welcome back to another episode of the show. Thanks for tuning in with me today. We are going to do one of our business reviews, our business breakdown that we just started our brand new series with this new season of the show. Now, I am not the most tech savvy person, and I know a lot of entrepreneurs that aren't either. So this specific company has really revolutionized an industry. It makes it easy for you to post on social media, for you to do presentations, for you to create social media graphics, and really has changed the design world. Before, you had to sit through hours and hours of training and lessons just to learn where all the buttons on the software were, how to use Photoshop or InDesign, and that is the very single reason why Melanie Perkins created Canva. So as you can guess, today's business breakdown will be talking about Canva and their CEO, Melanie Perkins, and how she created a billion-dollar empire while she was still in college, making her one of the youngest female billionaires in the world. So let's unpack how Melanie built this empire and what exactly was her edge to create and disrupt an industry like she has done so beautifully. In case you missed last week's episode, we broke down Spanx and CEO Sarah Blakely as far as what her edge was in business. And so we're bringing you another female founder this week. The edge, as we introduced last week, is a concept straight from my newest book, The 9% Edge, which is available everywhere for pre-order. And you can also get insightful business and finance topics delivered straight to your inbox when you sign up for the Edge newsletter, which you can do so. It's completely free. Go to candyvalentino.com/newsletter. If you like learning from successful people and you want to hear some of the mistakes that they've made along the way, make sure to sign up for our new Edge newsletter. Now, let's jump into today's business breakdown. Now, Melanie is the co-founder and CEO of Canva, born in Australia, and her journey to entrepreneurship began at a pretty young age. By the time she was 14, Melanie had already launched her first business in which she made handmade scarves to the local markets and shops throughout her hometown. But this wasn't just some teenage hobby. This became a serious venture that provided her with really a firsthand understanding of business. And this early experience of scarf selling and making it wasn't just about money. It was really about understanding supply, demand, how to manage inventory, how to set prices, how to engage with customers, all real life lessons that were invaluable and that she took into this latest endeavor. And most importantly, I know firsthand that learning entrepreneurship at a really young age, which is what I did too, really teaches you the value of hard work, of perseverance, of being persistent, and how hard it is to build something all of your own. Now, Melanie went on from selling scarves to attend the University of Western Australia, where she studied psychology and commerce. And really, this is where she fell in love with graphic design and started teaching design programs to other students at the college. This is where she realized that there was a real problem, as it would take other students hours to just learn the basics of design tools that were available and on the market, and sometimes a whole semester to become proficient. Now, these tools I know firsthand because even back before Canva and InDesign and Photoshop, they were complex, they were inaccessible and really intimidating if you didn't have at least a certificate or some training in graphic design. And she saw this problem as being so obvious that she wanted to drop out of the university in order to pursue it. Along with her then boyfriend, they started working tirelessly on their first project, Fusion Books. Now, Fusion Books is a completely customizable yearbook tool for high school students in Australia. She came up with this idea because Melanie's mother was actually responsible for compiling and designing the annual yearbook because she was a teacher, and she felt it was very time-consuming and often frustrating because there weren't a lot of user-friendly tools. So watching her mom struggle with this, she saw it as an opportunity to simplify the process and make it more accessible for other teachers and other students. This concept behind Fusion Books was really straightforward. It was a platform that schools could use to design their yearbooks online and then pay for the printed copies. Now, let me interject in the story really quick, because what Melanie and Cliff did here was extremely smart. They noticed a problem in the design market. They noticed how accessibility and training was a huge issue for people to learn. And instead of trying to fix the overall problem in a massive market that would be extremely expensive, they started really small and they really niched down to a very extremely small market to have the opportunity to really perfect a tool concept that they would then later use for Canva. Fusion Books became a hit in Australia and became the largest yearbook supplier and is still a profitable business today, which I didn't even know until we started doing research for this episode. But that confidence and that success really gave her the ability to think bigger and dream larger. And that's when she had the realization to create the ambitious project of Canva. Taking the idea of Fusion Books and evolving it into Canva, something that everyone in business, every creator could use. And she started to think about how she could apply the same principles that she used in Fusion Books and implement them into a design platform that would allow anyone, regardless of your technical skills or what business you're in or what you want to create, from posters to presentations, if she could take this idea and really turn it into a reality. This was her challenge, and obviously was not an easy task. And her first challenge was, in order to embark on an endeavor like this, she had to secure some funding. Obviously, she had the success of Fusion Books, but in order to really take this to market the way that she wanted to and do the development of the platform in the way that it needed, she did need to raise some capital. So over the course of 3 years, they pitched their idea to more than 100 venture capitalists, only to be rejected 100 times. Many investors were so skeptical of the idea and believed that it was way too big and way too ambitious in a market that was already saturated with a lot of design platforms and tools. And so this constant rejection, as some people would have found as the reason that they don't want to continue, for Melanie, this rejection actually strengthened her resolve. She knew that in order to bring her vision to life, that she needed to continue to believe in herself, to double down on her dream, to make sure that she didn't allow the opinions of other people to seep into her own belief. And she also needed to find the right partners who shared that passion and that belief in this product. The concept of Canva required not just funding, but also technical experience that was far beyond her own and what Cliff could provide. They really needed skilled people, skilled development teams, skilled engineers that could turn this vision into an actual product that could be marketed and sold. So finding someone with the right skills who also believed that it was possible and believed in the project became a huge challenge. And for over a year, they searched and searched until they could find a technical co-founder. They attended countless networking events, tried to meet with people that they thought could be partners, even moved to an area that had more tech. But despite all of this effort and focus, they really struggled to find someone who was a right fit. And this constant rejection and setback after challenge after another setback really could have derailed most founders. But I'll tell you what, Melanie remained focused. And finally, all that persistence paid off when they met Cameron Adams, who was a former Google engineer with a background in user interface. Now, I want to pause here for a hot second because so many people, imagine this, 100 venture capitalists all said no. Now you need to find the right talent. You even pick up and move to an area that has better tech employees, and you still can't find the right person. Time after time after time again, I see when I talk to the most successful entrepreneurs, the most successful founders, the wealthiest people that I know, they all were met with extreme challenge. But rather than allowing that adversity to cripple them, rather than allowing that stone that was thrown in their path to trip them up on the way to their dream, they continually had determination and resilience and doubled down on their dreams. That's really the one thing that can't be taught. You have to have a belief and a vision so big that the opinions of other people or some external circumstance doesn't derail you from what it is that you want to accomplish. And finally, it paid off for Melanie because Cameron saw the potential in this idea and agreed to join them as the chief product officer of Canva. Now, with Cameron on board, these three were able to go hard and really started building the platform platform that now has become Canva and officially launched in 2013. And within their first year, they got 750,000 users. Imagine that. All of this challenge, all of this rejection, and then boom, 1 year, you have this testament to the demand and finally have proof that this thing you wanted to create, that you were onto something. People loved Canva's simplicity and flexibility and the fact that it allowed them to create really beautiful and professional quality designs without needing some graphic design experience. And the platform quickly grew to a loyal following and the user base stuck, which allowed them to really grow exponentially. They believe that one of the key factors behind their rapid growth was the freemium business model. The platform was free to use. People could sign up, put in their email address, and get all the features and design elements, but if they wanted the additional ones, they had to pay through a subscription. And this model allowed Canva to attract a large number of users in a really short period of time while generating revenue from those who wanted to pay for the pro and get more advanced features. So fast forward just 7-8 years later, through the pandemic, Canva literally became a global phenomenon. The platform went from those first 750,000 users to over 60 million active users in 190 countries, and the valuation was over 40 billion, making it one of the most successful tech startups in history. Canva not only disrupted the design industry, but fundamentally changed user behavior as it changed the way people use the product and how they thought about design, which is one of the hardest things to do. Changing buyers' behavior and the way customers interface with products is extremely difficult. But by making Canva accessible to everyone, it really empowered people to bring any creative idea that they had to life. So obviously to say that Melanie and Cliff and Cameron and Canva has been a success is an understatement. Canva is a household name with every creator and business and entrepreneurs and has really become the go-to platform for social media and even high-level business presentation. So how did Melanie's idea to disrupt an industry and create this product grow to a billion-dollar household name? We're going to get into it. So we're going to now break down the edge that Melanie, Cliff, Cameron, and Canva had into just 3 short things. Number 1, her ability to handle rejection. She was able to go from problem to problem to problem without loss of enthusiasm. And that is one of the greatest skill sets that any entrepreneur can have. One of the most remarkable aspects of her story is to have 100 meetings with venture capitalists and have 100 rejections and still find a way to overcome that rejection and move forward. I mean, that's a lot of challenges. I know a lot of people that would have been like, you know what? This is a bad idea. 100 people told me so. I think I got to change directions and do something else. But instead, she had resilience and determination. She really felt and knew in her core that this was a decision that was going to really help a lot of people and solve problems. So instead, she continued. She took that rejection, learned from it, and really felt the importance of perseverance. She turned every one of those no's into a little stepping stone to get closer to a yes. She refined her pitch. She focused on all of that feedback that she got from investors to understand what they wanted to hear and adjusted based on the concerns that they have. And this is, again, something I have noticed from the most successful business owners and entrepreneurs that I know. They have the ability to get rejected and use it as a way to learn and grow and not allow it to stop them from pursuing whatever it is that they want to achieve. So many people would want to just put their head down and crawl under the bed sheets and not move on. But it's important to pick your head up, to take the next step, and to just make that next pitch, that next conversation, or that next decision better. And by doing so over time, she became a master at explaining her vision, which is truly a skill if you ever want to secure funding. And that is how she was able to secure the money and funding that she needed to grow the company. The second thing that I think really gave her the edge was how she saw a problem in the market. She saw a problem of how complex it was to understand this world, and she really made it her mission to solve that. She thought, if this is happening to me and other students at the university and my mom, there has to be other people that are experiencing this too. So really, one of the huge levers of her success was her ability to not just identify an issue in the market, but for her to develop the way to fill the need that the market had. Canva was really born out of her own frustration with the complexity of traditional design tools. She recognized the gap in the market for a platform that made design accessible to everyone, regardless of how tech savvy you are or what type of experience you have. And her insight into the needs of the user and the consumer in that market, it was really a foundational part of Canva's massive success. She understood that there were millions of people around the world just like her who wanted to create professional quality designs, but didn't have the time or resources to learn complicated software. Canva really filled the gap by providing a simple, intuitive, easy-to-use platform. So before I go into the third thing that I believe was their edge, I want to ask you, is there something that you're hearing within your customer base, within your industry, that maybe is a problem that there's a need for you to solve? You know, sometimes we are so focused on the products and services that we already offer, but just kind of paying attention to the world around you, the landscape of business, how it changes all the time. Is there something that you can implement in order to solve a new problem or to develop one of your products or services slightly different, to innovate something slightly different in order to solve a new problem? So we always want to make sure that we're doubling down on what we do because that's how we become more profitable. And we also need to listen to what's going on around us to make sure that there isn't another problem that we can be solving. It's kind of like the Blockbuster Netflix, right? If Blockbuster would have paid attention to the world around them and just listened to what was going on and how people wanted an easier way to watch the movies that they love, they might still be around and we might have never heard of Netflix. So it's important to pay attention to consumer need and understand if there's something that you can develop, tweak, adjust, or even change messaging on in order to fulfill the need that that customer has. And this brings us to number 3, which is what I feel is the other big reason that Canva and Melanie had the edge to be successful and be part of the 9% who really succeed in business, and that is perfection of the product. She understood that the best solutions were often the simplest, and she applied that principle to every aspect of Canva's development. This focus on perfecting the product can be described as the simplicity flywheel, where every single part of the end-to-end user experience is designed to be straightforward, intuitive, easy for users to find things, to start, to use, and to share. And let's just unpack Share the Platform for a moment, because one of the challenges that Melanie and her team saw early on was, how do we make this discoverable? How do we let people know about our product without having a massive marketing budget? They achieve this through content marketing, making sure that Canva appears at the top search results for all kinds of design-related queries. Whether you're Googling how to design a logo or how to choose brand colors or how to make a YouTube thumbnail, Canva is there ready to provide a solution for you. And by constantly showing up in these search results for countless design cases, Canva became synonymous with accessible design. And this marketing strategy that really made them almost viral when people were looking for what to use, married with the simplicity of the Canva platform, is really what created it to be the go-to for millions of users around the world. The simplicity flywheel is also how you share designs. It's so simple, and it encourages other people to use the platform because of the shareable features. And then every time somebody shares it, they're sharing Canva, which is spreading the word about it and creating a powerful marketing engine that drives more people to the company. This ease of sharing Canva has really become a critical part of their growth strategy, has really minimized marketing costs, has helped them acquire new customers and retain existing ones, which has really helped them accelerate the momentum of the company. But through all of this success, Canva has truly stayed true to the core of simplicity. And that simplicity, the focus on the product, and the resiliency that Melanie had when she was launching the company is truly the edge that has made them the powerhouse of success that they are today. So is there a page that you can take out of Canva's success playbook? Well, I would take a look at, is there a way that you can perfect your product more? Is there a way that you can make it simpler so that people can share it and tell other people about it? And is there something that you need to be a little bit more resilient about, that you might need to flip that no or that challenge or that circumstance that you're facing and see it in a different way, as just one more no or one more step to get you closer to what it is that you ultimately want to achieve? That's the thoughts for today and how Melanie and Canva has their edge. So thanks so much for tuning in with me for this episode of the show. If you love this episode, please share it with somebody that you care about. And as always, we'd be honored if you would share a 5-star review on Apple Podcasts. And if you're watching us on YouTube, leave a comment. Let us know what you think about this new series, as we value your opinion and continue to bring you more usable content that you can apply and execute in your business and your life. Thanks again for tuning in and spending this time with me today. We'll see you next time.